to the story that I had mentioned earlier about this nun. Okay, in the Catholic Church, the word abortion is very taboo. There are no circumstances, really, under which the Catholic Church would approve the use of an abortion. Now, I always swore, and I've tried to avoid talking about abortion on this show because there is no more polarizing topic or issue that can be discussed in any forum than abortion, because there are so many people out there in this country and in other countries that have such incredibly strong feelings and opinions about this topic. Now, for my part, I am not the type of person who would judge anybody who has an abortion. I think it should be used selectively, not just because two 15-year-olds were doing what they were doing, and it just happened to not turn out the right way. But on the other hand, I can't tell anybody, and I don't think I have the right to tell anybody that you should or you shouldn't do something that requires an abortion. Now, with that said, the Church's position is very, very clear. And again, it sometimes blows my mind, and I don't know, and I've got to be honest, I don't know if there's a loophole in this, but the bottom line is, if you are a Catholic and you are a doctor and you perform an abortion, you're automatically communicated from the Church. The only exception, I do believe, is if a person does it not knowing that this was going to cause the end of the life of some kind of procedure that does not end up... Okay, let me start again. The exceptions are if a person does a medical procedure on a woman not knowing that it will result in the death of a fetus or the destruction of a fetus, depending on what type of language you want to use. Now, here is what happened in this case in Phoenix. Let me show you the video. It'll be better explained by the video, and you'll get the picture. And then I'm going to come back and I'm going to tell you how I feel about it, and it's not going to be pretty.
Catholic bishop in Arizona is under fire for what some say was too harsh a punishment for a popular nun, a hospital administrator who approved an abortion to save a woman's life. Here's NBC's Lee Cowan.
The agonizing question facing St. Joseph's Hospital in Phoenix last year wasn't if someone was going to die, it was how many. Sister Margaret McBride, a Catholic nun on staff at the hospital, had to make a tough call.
It was a terrible decision for Sister Margaret to make, and she didn't make it alone. She was on the ethics committee.
A pregnant woman had been rushed to the ER, gravely ill. According to St. Joseph's, the treatment necessary to save the mother's life required the termination of an 11-week pregnancy. It was a moral and ethical dilemma that would test anyone's faith.
For that nun and for everybody else on that committee, that is a life-altering moment. They are making a decision to end a life, to save a life.
Decisions like that are made in hospitals around the country every day. And usually, says ethicist Dr. David Goldstein, they choose the mother.
The primary concern is saving the life in front of them.
So that's what Sister Margaret and the ethics committee decided. The abortion was approved, and the mother lived. But when her superior found out, Phoenix Bishop Thomas Olmsted, he excommunicated Sister Margaret, saying in a statement, quote, "The end does not justify the means." But some experts in church law say the bishop went too far.
If a person knowingly and willingly performs an abortion, then that person is excommunicated. But my contention is that there was nothing knowingly and willingly done in this regard. They were acting, you see, to save the life of the woman, and that was their main concern.
The punishment is prompting some to ask just how the church could turn its back on a nun for saving a life, while priests accused of abusing boys take years to be defrocked.
Well, in answer to the question, I would say it doesn't look good.
The Diocese of Phoenix stands by the decision. The perspective simply that a person can't do evil even to bring about good. But it's frustrating to those who knew Sister Margaret as a nun first, a hospital administrator. Second,
I think they're out of touch. They're out of touch with reality today.
Sister Margaret still works at the hospital in another position and is not talking. Her decision, it seems, between her and God. For today, Lee Cowan, NBC News, Los Angeles.